Chanuka Sameach. Chanuka is a festival of many lights, many virtues, many events. I wish to share just one insight, a few thoughts, a few words about the balance between Torah and nature and Teva, Teva Ha'adam, yes? Causality, maybe, a better translation than nature. About the balance between Hellenism, Greek culture, and our Jewish way of life. Rav Tzvi Hirsch of Liske, the founder of the Liske Chassidut, okay? A student of Rav Teitelbaum, wrote in his Ayashar Ve'atov an amazing drash for Chanuka. I wish to share just a few words from it. Tanu Rabbanan. Ner Chanuka, mitzvah lehanicho al petach beito mibachutz. We know from the Gemara, we need to put the Chanukiah outside, right? So everybody can see it. Yesh lomar hatam, Rav Tzvi writes, משום שהיוונים נכנסו להיכל וטימאו כל השמנים שבהיכל. היינו רצו להכחיש כל חוכמות התורה ואמרו שאין חוכמה אלא חוכמת הטבע. The Greeks desecrated the oil, the pure oil of the temple, because they wanted to say, we don't need this oil. We can use a different oil. There's no difference. חוכמת התורה אינה מעלה ואינה מורידה. חס וחלילה. Right? It doesn't matter your methods to create this pure oil, this purity, to sanctify. It doesn't matter. We know how the world works. En shum chiluk, right, Rav Tzvi. The Greeks said, En shum chiluk ben Israel u'umot. Hagam she'Yisrael osim mitzvot haboreh v'umot ha'olam einam osim. They wanted to claim there's no difference between us and between them, between the Jewish way of life and the others. He wanted to say, להוכיח שאפילו חוכמת הטבע נבנית על פי. We need to understand. אפילו חוכמת הטבע נבנית על פי התורה, כי הטבע הוא עזר לתורה. When we put it outside, we put our Torah, our Jewish way of life, outside. כן? ולא כמו שאומרים הרשעים שהעולם כמנהגו נוהג, אלא שהכל הוא על פי התורה. Not as they say, the world, Keser Asara, whatever happens, happens. But we know everything works according to the Torah. What is Rav Hirsch saying here? What is the meaning of no causality? That does not, it's not ha'olam keminago noeg. It's not that we just walk in the world and, you know, there's sort of these internal truth we need to follow. It's different. We follow Torah. But what does that mean? The Jews were not supposed to win. The Greeks were supposed to win. The Maccabees won because they fought in the name of God. The Hashmonaim established their kingdom, our kingdom, and reenacted the Pulchan HaKorbanot in Bet HaMikdash outside of cause and effect. Not because they were supposed to militarily win a battle with their mighty force, but because they were in the footsteps of Torah. But this is a simplistic reading. This is not what Rav Tzvi means, I think. We know Judah Maccabee was not stranger to cause and effect. On the opposite, his warfare, his methods are taught until today globally as founded, as the one that founded guerrilla warfare. He knew exactly how to use nature, how to use cause and effect. He used every little aspect of the world in order to win every battle. That was not triggered in a miracle. It was triggered by his force. So what does Rav Tzvi mean? I think we can better understand it through Echad Ha'am's article on חיקוי והתבוללות. And I'm reading from Echad Ha'am. זמן רב עוד קודם שקמו הלניסטים בארץ ישראל לבטל את היהדות מפני ההשכלה היוונית. Long before we had Greeks in Israel, long before we had מתייוונים, Jews that embraced Greek culture in Israel, כבר התקרבו היהודים במצרים ליוונים. The Jews in Egypt, in Alexandria, they were already accustomed to the Greek way of life. לרוחם לחוכמתם. ואף על פי כן לא מצינו שנתעוררה בקרבם איזו תנועה חזקה אצל ההתבוללות. Despite that, they didn't become מתייוונים. They didn't cancel Torah. אדרבה. הם השתמשו בידיעותיהם היווניות לגלות על ידן רוחה עצמית של היהדות. Moreover, they used their knowledge of Greek culture, of philosophy, of science, to embrace Torah even further. To show its beauty, להראות יופייה לכל העולם, to everybody, ולהשפיל מפני הגאון חוכמת היוונים. כלומר, על ידי החיקוי, הצליחו לסגל את הכוח ולעבור מהתבטלות להתחרות. By becoming similar to the Greeks, they competed with the Greeks on their own turf. They showed how the Torah is superior. They used it. They translated, right? We know they translated the Torah to Greek to showcase the Torah. What's the difference between them and the Mityevanim? They used the Yavan to better understand the world and the Torah, to showcase the Torah. They used the Yavan to share their narrative, the Torah narrative, with everyone. The Mityevanim did the opposite. They used the world to cancel the difference, to become like everyone else, to embrace the Greek narrative, to conceal Torah, to claim there's no difference between Am Yisrael and the Greeks. That's why the Maccabees had to fight against them. Fight not against causality, but against the detachment of Torah from causality. I want to just end with this. The Maccabees' revolt, what we celebrate on Chanuka, is not a triumph of a miracle only. The jug of oil that lasted 8 days. It's not a military triumph of the Maccabees, but it's rather the combination. It's the understanding that we can use causality, we can use nature, we can use everything around us, even Greek philosophies, as the Jews in Alexandria showed us, in order to better embrace Torah, to better understand Torah, to better hold our grip with Torah. That is what we need to remember. That is who we are. That is what we are. Chanuka Sameach.